if you lose a map, then everyone's going on banging on about how Tainted
I
Minds
thought
did
they
well.
were maybe going to take on Drop Bears in the finals,
Yeah,
but it doesn't seem like they can do that anymore.
Exactly. But look, this is the challenge for Tainted Minds. It seems like we're writing them off, and the game has not yet been played, so we have to wait and see how it will play out here. But for me, it is a 3-0 today, I think, for Darksided. Let's find out, though, what it is going to be, and let's also find out how Darksided is going to adapt to the new patch. That's another thing that we have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, well, that's a big part of it, isn't it? That's a bit of an asterisk there, I suppose, on the name next to these two teams to see how they go head-to-head here. Darksided in the green as the top seed, Tainted Minds in white as the second seed in this game. The point is about to unlock here on Lijiang Tower. Mooney, as you can see, spinning around, rolling around there on the Wrecking Ball. But for now, it's a 1-for-1 trade to kick things off.
Yeah, certainly looking okay for Tainted Minds, but Yuki getting close to that pulse bomb, and that means he's been putting in some work. The cap does go the way of Tainted Minds. Yuki, wow, that's a great shot from D-Field. But it was nice from Yuki to juke out the Fire Strike, but then there's a little follow-up there from D-Field. So, nice work from Tainted Minds, getting that initial cap, but immediately we see the roster swap from Darksided. They don't want to have anything to do with this GOATS composition, so they're going into the air, and they're going into the Wraith form, as Turmo will be swapping over to Reaper as well. They have put everything into these two DPS, and it's the perfect counter to what Tainted Minds are running.
It is. It's all about changing your heroes as required, and Darksided very good at that one. Yuki over the top here with the Farah, looking to find kills, and well, those are definitely the kills the Darksided are going to get right now. 1-for-1. Tristan Mountain D-Field will manage to pick up Punk, but whether that's going to be enough is an entirely different story. Quad J doing what he can on this Zarya, and doing not a half bad job, to be honest. Cantus and Mooney both getting it picked up there in combination, I suppose, with that Graviton Surge. Looks to be ticking back across, and Tainted Minds will be able to capture it.
No one can do anything about Yuki right now. Look at him, he's at 94% of that Rocket Barrage. Might throw it out quite quickly here, but he doesn't have too much HP to play with, so perhaps better off throwing it out a little bit later. Heals himself up and does get Trusimel. That's going to be enough for Tainted Minds to, or rather for Darksided to inevitably flip this one over. And Darksided are going to be able to continue to work their ult economy to perfection, as next fight is going to be Turmo that will be able to have the impact as far as the DPS is concerned with the Death Blossom.
Yeah, and once again, we swap back across here to Darksided, so we'll see what they can do. The ultimate's certainly on their side right now. They do have that advantage when it comes to the ultimate economy. For the rest of the team, however, they've got a little bit of catching up to do, I suppose, to get through to the 68% that Tainted Minds have got, but one would expect they should be able to do this. Mooney available with that with the Primal Rage, but not even going to be needed right now, Jordan. There's someone on the point trying to capture it back. Not going to be successful. However, now Darksided have been able to clean up TM without any real use of anything that big. I think...
well, it was the Death Blossom that came out from Turmo. It got 2 kills. And
you'll trade that any day of the week.
That's what I'm saying. You go with one fight with the Death Blossom and then another fight with the Rocket Barrage, and just one by one, Darksided are going to slowly be able to win these fights. D-Field has opted to go for the Widowmaker here to try and counteract that Farah Mercy combo, but he might have some difficulty, however, finding the kill onto Candace. That's big. Rocket Barrage, however, what I've been talking about for the last couple of fights is going to come into effect there for Yuki. He'll find 2. Not sure it's enough though here.
Yeah, some decent picks, but Tainted Minds did well. Also, Slitzel J, you saw into the backline there for Darksided, taking out the supports. They're now going to need to trickle in here up to 82% for Darksided. Tainted Minds trying to capture it back. Unfortunately for them, not going to be the case. Punk going to chase out the remainder of those heroes on the point. And now one fight remains here, potentially the Tainted Minds. They need to win this one to try and recapture this point.
Well, Quad J will need to hit a very nice Graviton Surge, and perhaps they need to force the Transcendence out from Molotov beforehand as well. So that is going to be the counter to what Tainted Minds are trying to do here, but already the first pick onto Baby Poro.
Yeah, 2 go down, Graviton Surge comes out, but they can't really follow up with anything, unfortunately, for Tainted Minds. Darksided are going to win this fight, and will be able to capture the point, and round 1 here on Lijiang Tower will go across to them.
Yeah, very good stuff from Darksided. They knew that there was an ultimate advantage available for Tainted Minds, so they needed to do something before Tainted Minds could make their power play, and they were able to do that, getting the pick onto Baby Poro, and then another one straight away onto Quad J after the Graviton Surge gets thrown out. Obviously, Transcendence was there for Molotov, keeping everybody alive in the Grav. And it just meant that Tainted Minds, while they had the ultimate advantage, Darksided individually had the picks. And when it's a 4 versus 6, even if you've got ults on the board, it's not necessarily going to be too easy to turn things around. The whole kind of round there really was just kind of a game of cat and mouse to begin with. But then once Darksided kind of caught up and got control of the point, it really did become much more difficult for Tainted Minds to cap it back across. And it really was only close because Tainted Minds were able to get that first fight in their favor and sort of have a bit of momentum off the back of that. If Darksided close out the first fight here, I don't think Tainted Minds are going to get particularly close in terms of the percentage on this one.
Potential for the Wrecking Ball here with Mooney to do a little bit of damage. You've got to be careful. Don't want to get knocked off the edge.
Oh dear.
And Oxideye is going to be the first one getting
Baby
out of
Poro
there.
got
Baby
knocked as
Poro follows in the same stead. This fight's going to go straight away across the Darksided here. You've got to be really careful up against the Wrecking Ball on this particular map, Jordan. It's kind of tough. Slitzel J has got, of course, the Sombra, so going to be interested to see what the plays are there. Termo going to pull one out as well.
Yeah, so far it has been Mooney that's been doing a lot of the work for Darksided, getting a couple of big kills. Yuki also very quickly up onto the Pulse Bomb. He's having a look for that player on the flank, but this is just going to be straight up Darksided smashing their face into Tainted Minds, and well, it turns out Darksided have a bit of a harder face than what Tainted Minds do, because it's definitely going their way. 25% already up for Darksided and building up onto the ultimates as well. Mooney is looking for some environmental kills here. As soon as they come across the bridge, he's going to be bouncing.
Termo as well in the back line, going for a hack onto the D.Va. If D.Va gets knocked off again, not going to get a chance to get back in there. Quad J actually going to get demeched. Anyway, Oxidize goes down as well. Coalescence going to come out from Molotov. And if this fight wasn't won by Darksided already, it will almost certainly be won now. Having said that, Mooney will go down. Punk's still sitting on the point. Has this self-destruct available should it be required. Throws it through, and without any kind of real shield tank, maybe can do some damage. Not going to be the case, however. Look how quickly Mooney gets back onto the point here. Yeah, can throw them out should they need. Pretty useful as well on a point like here on Lijiang Tower.
He actually does not need it at all, Ben, as the team fight is so quickly going in the favor of Darksided. This is going to make it very easy for Darksided to hold on to their next push, and that's really all they have to do. Tainted Minds have got one push left. Slitzel J, all eyes on you now, my friend. He needs to pick up a massive, massive EMP here, probably before Mooney's able to get the Minds out.
Or he can throw them down right here, which is precisely what Mooney does. Makes it a pretty tough spot for Tainted Minds to deal with. Already trying to chase down Oxidize. Yuki going to get picked up there by D-Field. Slitzel J goes down. The EMP was thrown out, but I don't know if it's going to have the effect. And Cantus has held on to the sound barrier as well until after the EMP was used. Means it cannot be countered. Quad J finds Mooney, finds Punk. Cantus goes down. Tainted Mind's going to win a fight and will be able to capture the point back at 99%. But look, there is a lot of time here now, Jordan, that Tainted Minds have to defend.
Mooney's swapped off. He's got no more fun allowed. He has to go back onto Winston and ensure that Darksided actually win this game. I'm sure that's the call from the team. It certainly was working quite nicely, but Winston is definitely going to be a little bit easier to make work here. He's going to be able to disrupt quite a bit more as well with that shield. And Tainted Minds will now have to deal with Mooney on that hero. Yuki with the Pulse Bomb, not going to be throwing it out just yet, but Coalescence is thrown from Molotov. Yeah,
available already. Nice to see it coming through. Baby Pyro unfortunately does not have the same thing available right now. Self-destruct comes through, won't find anyone. But Cantus and Punk both going to be essentially removed from this battle. Mooney looking low as well. Tainted Minds win another fight. Darksided starting to stack up maybe a couple of ultis here. Again, that EMP could be crucial, particularly in combination, Jordan, with a pretty good self-destruct. Yeah, well, that's what this fight is going to come down to. If Slitzel J can get his off first, and that's why he's playing aggressively there, trying to build it up because he knows that Termo will have it, and we're looking for Slitzel J to get his off, but Termo gets the first. Comes through EMP in combination with the Pulse Bomb. Should be enough, but look at this. Tristamail finds two. D-Field and Oxidize finding kills of their own. And Termo going to be picked up there by the Winston as well. So another fight going in the favor of Tainted Minds. Now up to 75%, ever closer, Jordan. It looked like quite a big ask originally. Now, definitely doable here for Tainted Minds. Yeah, Darksided are definitely having trouble getting back in onto this point, but they've made an adaptation. Termo's going to go onto the far up.
There's not a whole lot that can deal with that. Obviously, if you get the hack across and your Slitz or J onto Turmo, that's nice. But not so consistent necessarily. And Candace dropping early in this fight is very bad news indeed for Darksided.
Yeah, Turmo going to go down as well, up to 99%, Jordan. This is a real chance for Tainted Minds to make this 1-1. Overtime ticks through, but they're running out of play as the sound barrier comes out for TM. Looking real good right now. Just a matter of can Darksided stay on the point long enough for the rest of the team to come through. Right now, it does not look if that's like that is going to be the case. As you said, Slitz or J with that EMP makes life a lot easier as well for Tainted Minds here, trying to push on through. Quad J is low, but Turmo going to get picked up there. Trance comes through, self-destruct coming out from TM. Right now, looking real good for them. Maybe they can hold this point. Maybe they can go 1-1.
What we're looking for right now from Darksided is a big individual play, but it's not going to come out by the looks of things. They've managed to pull themselves out of situations like this before, but this time they do not have enough steam. No one can step up, and that's a lot to do with the fact that Slitz or J was really shutting down everybody possible. He got a great EMP off there, which really turned the tables in the favor of Tainted Minds. Not to mention all those hacks out onto Yuki as well, making it really difficult for him to get an ideal pulse bomb off, and he eventually had to throw it out, didn't connect with it. So Tainted Minds will come away with a round respectable from them. But now, can they do it again? That's the thing. If they get one round on control, it's like great, but at the end of the day, if Darksided close this one out, it's still 1-0 on the board for Darksided. So, Tainted Minds, while they've achieved something, we need to ask for a little more.
Yeah, more achievements required here, Jordan, for TM to get this across the line. But look, to be fair, not a half bad start coming out from them. This is what they want to see. Darksided, on the other hand, they're going to be wanting to clean this up, say, that was just a blip on the radar, nothing else. We can really own this team, and that's what they want to do here heading into the semi-finals. See whether that plays out in the scenario that they would expect. But Slitz or J out on the Brigitte, pushing through very early on, making life difficult for Mooney, taking a little bit of damage. Baby Pyro doing what you can, not doing bad, to be perfectly honest. And well, Candace the first one to go down. Tainted Minds maybe might win this fight, might get the first point.
They will get the first point. Are they going to win the fight? It does look likely to me, Ben. Darksided kind of read the situation well. They've countered it. They've got the Farah, but Tainted Minds have still managed to win that fight. Turmo was pressured out early by Baby Poro.
Baby Pyro, who's already got Coalescence ready, Jordan. So this next fight, not looking that bad. But as I say that, between Turmo, Punk, Molotov, Yuki, Mooney, 5 big ultimates ready to come through as well.
And this is going to be huge from Punk as well. It's going to catch a lot of players from around the back. Turmo holding on to the Rocket Barrage. Perhaps needs to throw it out, and he does. To be able to pick up 2 kills with that one. Well, just the one, but realistically, probably would have finished the Diva off anyway.
Yeah.
Not sure that it's enough though here, because Tainted Minds, they were able to take out quite a few of those Darksided players early on in the piece. Punk will get Trismail. Still, the point is ticking up in the favor of Tainted Minds right now. Baby Poro needs to get out of there, needs to reset just a little bit here, being chased down by Turmo. Will be saved just by the belt, rather by Quad J.
Look, I'm not sure if that was a great use there either of the Dragon Strike, Jordan. Not going to find anyone. Finally, Darksided will be able to get the point across to their side. Maybe the Dragon Strike helped them zone them out, perhaps just a little bit, but it's quite an expensive way to go about that process. Oxidizer's down, Mooney is down. You'd certainly rather still have your shield tank up. Graviton Surge comes through, Slitz or J picked up. Trismail picked up as well. Darksided looking like they're going to win this battle, continue to tick away on the point. Still have quite a bit of catching up to do. The reality is here, Jordan, if Tainted Minds come through with a fight win, capture it back, they have that ult advantage. That might be enough to get them through to 100%.
Yeah, they've got a big combo available to them as well very, very shortly. I'm not talking about Dragon Ball, I'm talking about hole-in-one. Quad J is up to 83%. If D-Field hits a good Graviton Surge here, it could be the end of Darksided and Tainted Minds back in control of the point once again.
They're going to try and jump out onto the point. I was giving them a hard time before about the Dragon Strike, but it was already available. Baby Pyro finds 2 huge kills coming through.
That's a big pick from Slitz or J.
It absolutely is. Tainted Minds in a great position right now. Will recapture the point. They have thrown everything they had, however, into that fight. They come out on top. But will they have enough in the bank heading through to the rest of this point?
It's a difficult time now for Tainted Minds. You have to take that point back for sure, but also in saying that, they really, like you said, invested a lot into that one. Trisamail with the world on his shoulders now, looking for a big Earth Shatter to win this fight, but Mooney will get his off first. Trisamail sort of blocks it, but not enough. It does seem as though Darksided should easily be able to cap this one back, as there really wasn't anything invested in by Tainted Minds. And we're going to put our eyes onto the next fight.
Yeah, the next fight, Darksided will have Dragon Ball available. So, a really good Graviton Surge coming out from Punk. Might be enough to get them up to 99% here, Jordan.
Yeah, and Tainted Minds are going to have to take this fight fast, because there is a good chance that they will lose it. So they want to have time to get another proper fight off.
Exactly.
But that timer is ticking down 25%. This could actually be the end of Tainted Minds. If they lose this fight right now, it's going to be trouble trying to get back into it. And there is the combo.
Through the top of the building. Look at this. Huge plays coming out from Yuki. That was very impressive.
Tainted Minds are going to struggle to get onto the point now. They are going to have to trickle onto it if they're going to be able to get it on at all. Not sure if there's someone potentially behind that can touch, but at 95%, I don't even know if Tainted Minds can get here in time. Yes, Quad J is up the top, so he'll be able to get on top of it, but Trisamail, this Earth Shatter needs to be big.
Big Earth Shatter at least finds Mooney. If they can find Cantus as well, that
Rocket
might be enough. But as you said, Termo up in the middle with a Rocket Barrage, throws it out. Does he find a kill? No, goes down in the meantime. Punk down, Yuki down. This is in the favor of Tainted Minds. Are they going to win Lijiang Tower?
I don't know about that, Ben, because they don't have anything left here. Quad J still in the baby diva form as well, but what do they have to defend with? Absolutely nothing unless this fight goes for a long time. Mooney and Molotov getting very, very close. If Mooney gets a good Earth Shatter off here, that's going to be the end of Tainted Minds.
He's almost down. He's getting picked up by Slitsaw J. So much damage coming through. Only at 84% ultimate charge. Punk here by himself. I don't know what Punk can do. Yuki finds a kill, brings it back 1 for 1. Punk looking low. Dragon Strike comes through, doesn't find any kills for now. Tainted Minds will lose Quad J. Slowly but surely are Darksided starting to bring this favor back into their side of things. I don't know, potentially here Punk ever closer to the minefield as well. Trisamail looking low. Mooney already back into the battle. Can Darksided win this?
I'm not sure that they can now that that Earth Shatter has come across, Ben, but a couple of picks do go their way still. Termo and Mooney are dropped. Punk doing so much work right now for Darksided, and Tainted Minds filtering away from that point. Lots of kills going the opposite direction. It does seem like Darksided now have the advantage, and Punk can just continually spin on this point and be such a menace. Trisamail coming back in with 91% of the Earth Shatter again. We need to ask for a big Earth Shatter out from him.
That. Quad J goes down, Trisamail goes down, and Darksided win Lijiang Tower. 2-1, 99-99 here on the third and final point, Jordan. Look, I'll be honest with you, if Darksided were writing out a story of how they expected today to go,
wouldn't be like
sure
that.
They'd say they'd get the first control, but not so close up against TM.
No, definitely not. Tainted Minds, I think they probably should have won that actually in the end there. They had the initial pick onto Mooney, which was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
But then they mess around, they waste time, they're not focus firing properly, and you've got a couple of guys trying to shoot Punk, who's gone around and around and around like this. He's a very difficult target to hit. The healers are under pressure, and it's just not enough coordination from Tainted Minds. If they would have called their focus better, if they would have focused down those targets better, they would have won that map. But unfortunately, they leave the opening there for Darksided to trickle back in, and then they get those big ultimates across from the Darksided side of things. And inevitably, it once again goes the way of Darksided, but Tainted Minds were very close to closing that map out in their favor. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, doesn't matter how close you are. It's still 1-0 on the board for Darksided, and Tainted Minds have nothing to show for their efforts.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame, that is for sure. But hey, I think that a good team, a team with a strong head, a strong leadership, Tainted Minds might be able to come into this and say, hey, look what we just did. But we were so close to taking them down.
Yeah, the thing about this kind of matchup, though, is if you're the underdog, you need to be winning a match like that if you expect to win the map, because or you're going to need to win a map like that if you expect to win the match. Sorry, if you allow a map that close to go the opposite way, that's one of your opportunities gone by the wayside, and you don't get that many. They might only get maybe 1 or 2 chances to take a map here off Darksided.
Look, we saw that was what happened in the last game as well. Yeah, so ever closer, but for me, Tainted Minds, let's see what they've got in store for us for map 2, because I'm ready, because my body's ready, Jordan. That was a much, much closer control point map than I thought it was going to be. That is for sure. Look, something to take away from map 1 as well. The Hanzo How many Dragon Strikes did we see come out there in that third round?
Well, that's just Yuki in a nutshell,
oh,
isn't it?
man,
really?
incredible.
You're not surprised at all to be seeing that. He definitely does a lot of work on well, pretty much every single hero he does manage
literally
to
everything.
Yeah, but for Tainted Minds now looking forward as to what map they want to choose. Look, King's Row is the one that they've been picking for most of their options. It hasn't necessarily worked out for them, and it's a very good map for Darksided. So I'm a little bit scared for Tainted Minds here. Heading on to Hybrid, I just can't see them picking it up, even though they get close there on Control. It hasn't given me enough faith just yet.
Yeah, sometimes in those brawly game modes that you can notice maybe it's a little bit close, but as soon as we get onto Payload, sometimes you can see that's where you can find
that's where the good teams and the great teams are separated.
That's where you separate them, right? So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But it is going to be King's Row 4 from 4. I think that makes it in playoffs, Jordan.
It does, yes. And it could potentially be 4 from 4 for Tainted Minds if they do end up losing here, as they've played it 3 times and they've also lost it 3 times, Ben. So that's not exactly the statistic you want to be going into a map in your playoffs with. And also, when you look on the other side of the coin, it's 3 from 3 wins for Darksided. So polar opposites here on King's Row. It would be ludicrous to predict that Tainted Minds is going to win this map. So once again, you have to put your money on Darksided here.
Yeah, well, that's it. But look, I'm ready to be surprised, Jordan. We could so easily right now be talking about how it was incredible that Tainted Minds just won Lijiang Tao.
We could
have 50-50 definitely gone their way.
And that's what we needed to be talking about for Tainted Minds to have a chance in this matchup. Like I said, Darksided is not going to give them that kind of an opportunity here on King's Row. Tainted Minds is going to need to fight tooth and nail for every single one of these maps, and every single one that goes close but the way of Darksided, well, it might as well have been a steamroll in the favor of Darksided, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day how close it is. Tainted Minds now, though, what have they got for us here on King's Row? They've had a couple of weeks to prepare. They've known that they've been in playoffs well, since the end of week 5, which was 2 weeks ago. They knew who they were facing. If there was any chance that they were going to beat Darksided, it would be today. They've had the most preparation possible, and we shall see the fruits of their labor. Potentially this new meta might help them out as well. D-Field will be rolling out potentially. Never mind on Wrecking Ball I was going to say, but still Slidzor J with the Sombra. That is still a change-up, and he's been doing okay on that so far, but Turmo and Widow definitely going to be a threat.
The pressure right now here on Tainted Minds coming out onto attack first. We'll see what they can do. That high ground looking very secure right now for Darksided. Trisamal going to be the one trying to jump up there, potentially with Quad J. Let's see what Slidzor J can do here as well with the Sombra. Going to get caught out by a bit of, just fire across, just spamming that fire across the breach, seeing if there's anyone there. But the battle's going to go ahead. They try and take the high ground. Potentially unsuccessful right now for TM, so they fall back onto the point. D-Field lurking.
Oh, this could be big.
Looking for Yuki, finds Yuki. Now that leaves Molotov available as well. Not going to be the case, but was very, very close.
Well, it's a big pick out from Darksided, but Yuki's going to be rezzed up straight away by Cantus. Slidzor J putting some work in here. We'll get the D-Bank across, and right behind the Arista, putting some damage in the back there as well. But this fight is not being consistent enough, not clean enough for Tainted Minds. If there was follow-up to the pick that D-Field was able to get, if they would have denied the res, then potentially Tainted Minds could have come away with the first cap here. But not the case, as Darksided will hold strong again, and it makes the job tenfold more difficult now for Tainted Minds that Darksided have had that extra time. Riptire is available.
Yeah, and straight away, Yuki wastes no time to throw it out, wants to capture himself. Couple of supports would probably feel pretty good right now. Finds Oxidize, one will do.
Got Yuki.
Yeah, so you got to be careful about that, but it does not matter. Darksided find another couple of picks, and the Coalescence going to be popped by Baby Pyro as well, Jordan. Not sold necessarily on that timing. To me, I think Darksided already had that particular fight wrapped up.
Yeah, that's not too fortunate at all for Tainted Minds. D-Field is finding pick and pick onto the Junkrat, which is what he needs to be trying to do, but the rest of the fight just is not going the way of Tainted Minds. However, now they have the one saving grace, that is the EMP from Slidzor J. Is he going to be the difference here for Tainted Minds? Well, he pretty much has to be.
Yeah. The problem is, what does the follow-up look like? Big. EMP comes through. Trusamal right onto the top there, has Primal Rage available as well. Yuki already up to 88% here of this Riptide, so if he can stay alive, he's got this one available. They're onto the point. Trusamal goes down. Cantor's picked up by Quad J, throws it in, doesn't find the kills that he wants, just forces the self-destruct out there. from Quadjay, who's eventually cleaned up. Look, this fight got them to 58%, Jordan. They're going to continue on that way, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
It's 1-for-1s across the board, though, and that should be favourable for Tainted Minds as they can trickle in a little bit quicker here, as long as they don't allow unanswered picks to go across to Darksided, which, well, that is one so far, so potentially still holdable here for Darksided. Tainted Minds, again, it was a great EMP out from Slidzor but there just was not the follow-up available. The dive came in a bit too late. After the hack had more or less worn off.
Yeah, and it seems to me, it feels to me, like Tainted Minds are kind of trickling here when maybe they can't afford to trickle. They're not necessarily going to win those fights. Here we go, Coalescence comes out for the attacking side. This is good timing right now. Mooney going to go down to 1-for-1. Cantus picks Mooney back up. Quadjay goes down as well. This time it's going in favor of Darkside. An EMP comes through again from TM, but Slitzor J going to get picked up as soon as that one is popped. And Turmo onto the point when you've got that shield here where you can sit behind the Orisa, Jordan, particularly when you've got that Junkrat. It is so tough to get through, particularly if you lose the first pick.
Yeah, well, Tainted Minds have had a number of opportunities to push over Darksided here, but they just haven't quite had enough in the tank. Not enough discipline, not enough focus fire, etc., etc. Darksided just better in all facets than Tainted Minds are, and it's coming to show right now.
Once again, look at this Reptire almost available. Slitzor J looking low. Yuki wants to clean him up, throws this one out. Waiting for the picks. We're into overtime. The kills now are very, very useful. And this should be it, Jordan. Tainted Minds will capture 66.5% of point A here on Kings Row. And that is a lot of work now for them as they flip across to the defensive side. I feel like we're almost watching a complete replica of our first match of the day. Yeah, with
Masterminds being unable to cap against Order. Fairly similar result in the end, I guess different circumstances, but look, I felt like Tainted Minds, they had openings that they just didn't take advantage of, particularly that initial one where D-Field was able to get the pick onto Yuki, but and then also the EMP that Slitzor J threw out. It was almost the entire team, but he threw out the EMP, and then there wasn't the follow-up that needed to be happening straight away from Tainted Minds. You want Trisamail to be landing basically as the EMP pops.
Well, Trisamail had the primal rage available in that fight as well, so you would have thought that maybe would have been enough to get them across the line, but Darksided are so strong at that sort of that brawly kind of meta sometimes, I think, as well. You know, everyone disengages. Yuki is so hard to catch. You've got to pin him down before you can pick him up, and he's still just there in the background doing damage.
Well, not only that, but Cantus did such a great job of keeping himself alive. I don't think Cantus actually died at all that time, and that's so critical for a Mercy to be able to do on the first point of Kings Row, because you are essentially the lifeblood of your team. If you die, the next person to die also dies. So
the next person to die also dies.
Well, it's a 1-2 punch, but if Mercy's still alive, you get that res straight across, which we saw numerous times from Cantus, particularly onto Yuki. Tainted Minds just couldn't find the kill onto the Mercy, the all-important pick.
That's it. Once the Mercy's gone, every kill after that sort of compounds the problem. Whilst the Mercy's still there, at least you can pick someone back up with the res to start things off. So, Yuki not going to be coming out with the Wrecking Ball, unfortunately. Instead, over here on the Brigitte,
I would be interested to see how a Wrecking Ball would go in a DPS slot, but we're not going to get to see it today.
Not today, Elfishguy. To the surprise of no one, Jordan, look at this team comp.
Goats comp for Darksided, so let's just get ourselves onto the point, force Tainted Minds to jump off and contest, and that's where we then win the fight. But Slitzor J is already up to 44% of the Riptide, so maybe there's something in this one for Tainted Minds.
Yeah, well, Mooney going to get right underneath them there, and Slitzor J does have the Riptide available already. Throws it over the top! Cantus, Yuki, and Mooney all go down. A fight win to kick things off for Tainted Minds.
Yeah, you just saw that being set up perfectly, didn't you? By the time Darksided got to the hotel, Slitzor J was at 44% already, and then he just chunked away at Darksided. That's exactly how this composition is supposed to work for Tainted Minds. But it really does put a lot of pressure on Slitzor J, continually fight after fight after fight. If he slips up once, that is where Darksided is going to find their advantage. Once again, he's going to have to start from scratch more or less. 28%, 44. Keep your eyes on that Riptide percentage. That is what's important right now for Tainted.
Here we go again, back onto the point, and Molotov has the Coalescence already. fires it through, hoses everyone down, as Uber would say. Look, not doing a half-bad job either. We only need to get to 67%, Jordan, and that will give Darkside the win here on Kings Row. We're getting very close to that one right now.
Yeah, not going to last too much longer here for Tainted Minds. Oxideye is doing his best, but Lone Mercy, even with Valkyrie, is not a threat at all for Darksided. And unfortunately, Darksided, they find that pick that they need in the GOATS composition. Once you get the first pick, you just roll on one after another, and it's just a bam. You're done.
Can we do it again? Bam.
Bam. Yep. It's like, I don't know, getting hit by a train, essentially, is what it's like getting hit by a GOATS composition. And Tainted Minds, well, they have one good fight there, which was basically off the back of Slidzor J with a Riptire, but unfortunately, they just didn't have enough to defend there. And Darksided with a pretty clean 2-0 up to this point.
Yeah, to be fair, there's very little to actually say about that game. Darksided just playing better across the board.
This was the opening that I thought really could have been taken advantage of, but unfortunately not the case. Yeah, this is the expected result. We thought that Tainted Minds was going to struggle against Darksided, and they put in an admirable effort on Control, but you've even said it in the past where sometimes Control can be close, it's a bit brawlier, you sort of just rely on your firepower there, but once you get into the hybrid maps, the Assault, the Escort, that's where things start to come a little bit unstuck, and that's where you can separate the teams like Darksided from the teams like Tainted Minds, and that was quite easily evidenced there with how easy that was to close out for Darksided. So up 2-0, I suspect we're moving on to probably Temple of Anubis here as the next one, which is what Tainted Minds have played all season. And we know how good Darksided is on Temple of Anubis, so I think it's a struggle time ahead here for Tainted.
Well, guys and girls, it's halftime here in our last playoff match. Darksided are up 2-0 up against Tainted Minds. We're going to take a very quick break. And when we come back, our last Overwatch Contenders Australia for the regular season. We'll see you soon.